What is going on, YouTube? It's Tyler from Mission VR, where it's my mission to bring you guys good quality VR content. So today we are going to be reviewing Jack Walker Etheral, which is an indie VR game that can be found on the Steam store for about $14.99 right now. We're going to be taking a look at everything in this game and whether or not you should pick it up. So, with that being said, make sure you guys do drop a like on this video, comment on this video what you guys think, if you've played Jack Walker, if it's something that maybe you'd be interested in getting or not. I would definitely recommend watching this review before you do so, but that is there. Also, drop a subscribe to my channel. I'm bringing a ton of VR content. I'm really trying to get some of these game reviews done. I'm a little bit backed up on it, so I definitely want to make sure I get some of these game reviews done because I really want that to be the focus. I want to help people decide whether they're going to buy games or not. That's really kind of why I started my channel, so I'm trying to get back into doing a little more game reviews rather than top 10 lists and things like that. So make sure you guys do drop a sub, and let's go ahead and hop on into this video. Alright guys, so first up we're going to start with our content section. This is where I like to start. What are you actually going to be getting in the game? Now this game is $14.99 on Steam. A little bit steep, not going to lie to you. What's available in the game? It could use a little bit more for that price tag. There's no doubt about it. It's only got 3 campaign levels as of right now, and each level only takes around 20 minutes to go through, if not maybe less. So there's really not a ton of content here when it comes to the single player campaign. Little disappointed there in that aspect. There is a survival mode, however, so you can get some good playtime out of that if you're into a survival mode type of thing. Now, when it comes to the content in the campaign levels, you start out with a prologue, which kind of tells you a little bit of a tutorial on how to use the controls, which actually are pretty intuitive here. I will say some of the mechanics I actually did enjoy on the controls aspects, and there were some moments that, again, were unique to kind of VR. The very first thing you do when you enter the game is you kind of melt glass with your laser, which I think is pretty cool, and it kind of gives you that, like, Boba Fett feeling of, melting down a door, if that makes sense. So kind of cool there, like that. There were some other really good mechanics when it comes to like the swords, actual physics. So when you slice a certain area of an enemy's body, they actually fall apart or die in that particular like area. Did like that. It was a little thing that kind of made the sword play a lot more fun. Now, when it comes to the levels themselves, the first level's fine. It's pretty quick, pretty easy. There's nothing really crazy going on there, and it gets the job done. But when it comes to the second level, I actually really didn't enjoy this level. It was very graphically intensive, and I'm running on a pretty good machine, so it just had a lot going on. You couldn't really see very much. There were enemies coming from all over the place. It took about 20-some minutes to beat or so, and the boss fight at the end is it's meh. There's not really any mechanics. You kind of just shoot it. It never really damages you at all. At least I didn't find any trouble with it at all. I just kept shooting it over and over and running around, and it finally died. So, and then there was a kind of a cool part at the end where you launch your hand up to your dropship and you fly up to it to get in. So that was one of the mechanics I really liked was, when it comes to mechanics in general, was the ability to launch your left hand, fly to where you launched it, launch a laser out of it. You can destroy enemies with it, grab things. I did enjoy that. I thought that was a really nice mechanic. The slow motion was really fun to play around with whenever you launch your hand at an enemy, grip them, and then, you launch yourself to them, and then you hit slow motion up as you're, slicing your sword through them vertically. Did enjoy that. There's definitely some moments in this game that are pretty solid when it comes to the actual combat mechanics. I really did enjoy. There was definitely some fun to be had there. Now, with the third level in the campaign, this level I actually did enjoy a lot. There was a little bit more to it. This is the most recent update that they just added to the game. So, and again, the robots that you're fighting in the level, they slice apart wherever you actually use the sword. And that's what I primarily spent a lot of time using was the sword, because I just felt like the gunplay was it was meh. I mean, it was, you shoot a gun and you kill something. It really wasn't anything special in there. But the sword was a lot of fun. The way it unfolded and folded back up into your little handle there, it reminded me of kind of like a cyberpunk, cyber tech style thing. So I really did like the sword play in the game. Now, after you beat the 3 campaign levels, I was definitely a little bit disappointed with just only 3 levels. I could have used 1 or 2 more campaign levels that would have really made this, maybe a little bit more worth that price tag. I think that this game probably should be around $9.99 for what you're getting. I understand the developers need to make money on the games that they put a lot of time into, so I get that. But overall, just wasn't enough there in the content for me to really justify that price tag. However, into the survival mode if that's something that you're into. It basically just throws you into one of the planets that you did, and you just survive for as long as you can. And that is really the highlight of this game, is the combat. The combat actually isn't all that bad, but I definitely would say that if I was going to hop into survival mode, I would absolutely want to do it on either the prologue mission level or the robot factory mission level, because I just really didn't care for the alien planet that you were on. It was just very graphically intensive, and the enemies just weren't that fun to fight, if that makes any sense. So we're going to move on to our graphics and sound.
Looks like the doors are inaccessible. Walker, come on, charge the door using your laser.
Oh good, you're up. Listen, Galactic Federation captured you in our last mission, and they've probably erased your memory. And now they're examining your robotic hand. You have to break free before they steal my technology. I'll come rescue you, but you gotta do what I say. First, melt the glass around the door in front of you. As soon as you drop the door, get your hand back from the desk. Your weapons are also on the corners of the lab.
So when it comes to our overall sound design here, not too bad. It really isn't, really isn't the most amazing sounds ever, but I actually did enjoy the soundtrack. It kind of gave you that, like, action arcadey feel, and I think that's what this game is going for, is almost like an old, like, 80s style bounty hunter game with a little bit of a modern twist on it, obviously being in virtual reality, but it definitely has a unique style when it comes to the sound that I think gets the job done for what it's doing. Nothing really crazy. I did like the music, but the overall weapon sounds and stuff, they weren't bad, but, also weren't the most amazing thing. Now, where I do think the sound could use a little bit of work is the overall telling you where to go and what to do, and like the guy in your headset, that's supposed to be telling you mission objectives, it sometimes can be pretty muffled and you really don't hear what he says, which can definitely hamper knowing what you have to do next. So moving on to our graphics here, this is an area that if you read the Steam reviews, everybody says the graphics are amazing, and I just didn't feel that way at all, and I've got a pretty good machine. Now, I'm playing on Oculus Quest with the Link, so there certainly was a little bit of latency there, which kind of was surprising for a game that is this small in scale, but I guess it is all how you optimize it. But overall, I didn't think the graphics were anything crazy. I couldn't turn my resolution scale up to max in the game because it was just so laggy when I did that, the latency was so bad I was almost unplayable. So I actually kept it on low, which made it much smoother of a gameplay experience. But again, the graphics they were pretty fuzzy. The screen door effect was pretty heavy in this area, at least for me. And maybe I'm doing something wrong, but I'm pretty versed in the VR space, so I just didn't feel the graphics were all that good. Now, in level 3, they actually were a little bit better, and that is the newest level that they did release. So that was a nice sign. And the prologue wasn't even that bad because I went back and replayed it. The alien planet was just really hard. I didn't like it at all. I thought the graphics were pretty subpar. I couldn't see. There was some big distances that were really fuzzy. Overall, just I really did not enjoy that level. I thought there was too much going on in that respect. But graphical wise, I mean, the gun effects really weren't that great. It could definitely use some works in the graphics area, but it is an indie developed game. So that being said, and the art style, I guess, does have a unique style to it. So overall, I think the graphics could use a little bit of work, but at the end of the day, for what the indie developer is doing and for what the game actually has, it's not the worst thing in the world. So when it comes to our verdict here, this game is, I really don't ever want to discourage anybody from buying a game that they might want to really try, because the indie developers and these development studios, they put so much effort and time into these games, and it really is, it's a passion project for a lot of them, and I, absolutely respect that. But for the price tag of $14.99, I'm going to have to say you might have to stay away from this one. I got to be honest, as a game reviewer, I just felt there wasn't enough there. There is a multiplayer mode, but of course there's nobody online, so you have to get on the Discord server and see if anybody wants to play, and that just isn't always convenient, for some of us that just want to hop into a title and, get some playtime in. So I would say that if this game was $9.99, I could definitely maybe recommend it, just because the combat is kind of fun in it, but at the price tag of $14.99, I just can't. Not with as many bugs as there are as well. There are definitely a lot of bugs in this game that need ironed out a little bit, and I really felt that there were times during the campaign where I had no idea what I was doing, and the game just didn't really tell you where to go or what to do. And I guess that that could be a good thing depending on the game, but in this case it really wasn't. I needed some more direction at times. I mean, I remember the level 3, I wandered all the way back to the start because I didn't know what to do, because no one even told me, and my Wayfinder device wasn't working. So it's one of those things where could use a little bit of optimization there, and definitely a little bit more content. But overall, I think the game itself has some potential for the future. There's no doubt about it. I mean, they add a couple more levels, optimize the graphics a little bit, optimize the gameplay a little bit, and maybe add some more weapons and things. I think it could be certainly, a nice indie game, and that they lower the price tag a little bit for at least right now until they get some of that other things. Now, there was a customization feature and an upgrade feature, but I couldn't access it at all. I had no idea. They said it was in the hub of the ship. I went around, I looked around for 15 minutes looking for, how to customize or upgrade my character. Couldn't figure it out at all, so that's definitely something that they need to kind of add into a tutorial, or, maybe I just missed a menu button. I don't know, but I couldn't find it at all. So, and definitely another area where they could use a little bit of work in that respect. But overall, Jack Walker Etheral, if somebody gifts it to you, or you have, a couple bucks to throw, around, and you really don't want anything else, and this is kind of a game you've eyed up for a while, maybe go ahead and buy it. But as the rest of us, if you're just looking for a game to play, I would maybe stay away from this one, just because it just doesn't have enough content to justify that price tag. Well, guys, that is it for this video. I hope you guys found it informative, and, got some good information out of it. I really don't like negatively reviewing games, just because I know how much work goes into it from the developer side of things. So it's one of those things where it's hard, but I have to be honest as a YouTuber, as somebody who, reviews games. I know you guys watch these reviews, and, you're going to make a decision on whether you're going to buy a game or not, and I can't tell you to confidently buy a game that just doesn't have a lot going on in it, when there's so many other VR games that do have enough content to justify their price tag. So I hope that everybody understands that, and, moving forward, that's how I'm going to continue to do, is honestly review games. So hope you guys enjoyed. Please do drop a like on this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next one.